if they are, if they're happy with it, then we'll have a bath together maybe once a week. This isn't a big issue in our house at all. It's something we've been doing for years, and it's something that's really enjoyable. I've got a very tiny bathroom, but we'll all sort of scooch together sometimes, the three of us. Sometimes we can just read a magazine, and sometimes we'll just chat. We can be in there for 20 minutes or so. And we have no issues with that at all. We've been doing it for a long time. My boys are very comfortable with me being naked, with them being naked. It's something that we do in the house that's very normal.
Are you surprised then that people have the reaction to you that it's not right, that it actually is unnatural?
I think it's the opposite. I think it's really natural. I mean, what can be more natural than sort of wandering around the privacy of your own home, obviously, in being naked and being what we were born with? I mean, this is nothing to be ashamed of. This is just us being very natural, very happy. In fact, a lot of the time, we're not even talking about it. I mean, I grew up in a household where, you know, I used to put my feet in the bath when my mum was having a bath. I mean, she was a mum of 5 children. She was really busy. She was always moving around. And the only place that she was still and relaxed and where I could catch her for a chat was in the bath. Yeah. So she'd lie in the bath, I'd stick my feet in, and we'd chat. I don't think I even noticed that she was naked. It was just a lovely, peaceful, happy place. And I can't see any reason why this would be wrong. I mean, what is shameful about our own bodies? Why should we be hiding them from each other?
So let's ask Ben. Then, Ben, what's the problem? It sounds perfectly natural and lovely.
Well, firstly, I think every parent has the right to parent in their own way, and what you're describing, Lauren, is exactly that. And your experience, her experience as a child, bathing with a mum or dipping her feet in, is very different to then having 2 boys at 10 and 11 who are just about to go through the stage of 1 going to secondary school and 2 going through their puberty stage, when they're figuring out the difference between body parts and etc. And it opens up to a lot of confusion.
But aren't you? Isn't this just, you know, sort of back to wrapping kids up in cotton wool, being prudish, being embarrassed about our bodies? Vast swathes of the world grow up naked together.
Absolutely. It's not about hiding it. It's just not about openly flaunting it.
I think she'd probably say she wasn't flaunting it. It was a natural, organic thing.
Yeah, but then when does the age come when you go, it's time to not just... There's obviously boys develop their brains, and when their brains start the chemical process...
Because your point is that it's confusing for children's natural sexual desires. That's what you said to our researcher.
Yeah, when Sigmund Freud did his research, he got to the sort of 6 till 11, and then when 11 hits and puberty starts, naturally, boys have tendency to have, from Freud's model, fantasise about their mothers. So advertising may not be the right word, but being naked so openly is not about body shaming or being unnatural. It's more about the confusion that could then lead on from that.
Do you want to come back in on this, Lauren?
Yeah, what do you want to say about that?
Yes, I mean, it's quite interesting to hear all that, because my older son is 11, so he is sort of approaching puberty. I'd say we're at the cusp of it, and he's definitely. I mean, they're both very curious. They're definitely pointing, they're laughing, they're sniggering, they're asking me questions, absolutely. But I answer in a really matter-of-fact way. You know, they ask me questions. You know, what's that? What are those bumps? Where does that come from? And I answer it. I mean, they're having sex education at school. So what's the problem with being very matter-of-fact with them? Now, one thing I will say, though, is if they start to have issues with, for example, bathing together or wandering around naked, I will take their lead. So if suddenly my older son decides that, you know, he doesn't want to be naked around me, or he doesn't like seeing me naked, then I will take his lead. It's up to him. But at the moment, we're all very happy and very comfortable. And I grew up in this environment, and I was doing this, and you know, until past puberty. And I think it's made me very comfortable in my own skin.
I completely understand what you're saying, but a mother and daughter relationship is very, very different to a son and mother relationship. So although you grew up with it and you turned out fine, you're saying the great benefits that you received from that, boys are developing in a very different way to girls.
But do you think you're just over-sexualising this, though? Are you sort of taking away the innocence of just a mother and child relationship, regardless of whether they're male or female?
For us as adults, we're emotionally and sexually mature. Whereas children get into that age of where they are innocent at the moment, as you said, on the cusp. When they hit 11, 12, that's when their sexual innocence starts to then become...
Can't you make it more of a secret, more of a hidden fruit, if you like? If you're like, oh, secret, you can't show this, it's your private area.
But that's where does obviously the line drop from the whole process of...
But as Lauren said, that her children will almost certainly decide themselves, and if it becomes uncomfortable and not the lovely me time that they've all had together, then she'll change.
But isn't it our role as parents to lead rather than be led? Like, for other behaviours, we as parents would encourage our children to behave in certain ways that we think is acceptable.
So would you say in the house, at what point would your children... She's getting loads of calls now on their her friends saying, we're watching you on the telly. So children shouldn't be naked around the house, parents shouldn't be naked around the house?
That's a parenting decision. That's obviously what time people go to bed, what TV shows they watch. Every parent should parent in their own way. Whatever people choose to be naked or not, it's just when that line, where does that line come? Does it come when they hit puberty and you say, well, actually, I'm different? Because, for example, a little girl is going to start to have changes that they might not want to show their dad. And then that becomes a natural taboo, the way we've not mentioned it. We haven't been naked in a non-naked household. If a girl will start to say, well, I've now got these lumps that I don't want to, and obviously they would be taking the lead. Whereas boys are a lot more expressive and they might not do that.